Hey guys, Derek Blue Collar Chess. In today's video, I'm going to discuss, basically why you shouldn't pay a lot for a chess coach. I'm gearing this video and these ideas for a very beginner chess player all the way up to probably probably a Class B player. I just don't think those guys need a chess coach. You need a little help from time to time. So maybe spend a little money, but you don't need to spend a ton of money. You need stuff like game principles. So you need opening principles, middle game principles, and end game principles. And you need some theory and all those things. And that's about it. And you're going to get to that level. And you're going to play tactics. And you don't really need a coach for tactics. You can just read a good book. You just got to, it's more like a habit thing. I think most people just don't have very good habits. Also, when they're playing, they don't have very good habits. They're playing online, they're distracted, their wife's asking them questions, their boyfriend's asking them questions, whatever the case may be, you know. So the reason why I thought of this video was because I subscribe to this newsletter called Zwischenschug, and the author is a very good author. I own at least one of his Chessable courses, and I think he would be a fantastic coach, 100%. However, when I got this email, I took a look at it, and he was having a sale on coaching. I wasn't going to take coaching or anything. I was just more curious what his prices were, and they kind of floored me. I'm not going to lie. They were just kind of like, whoa. It might be worth it. I have no idea. I'm going to be honest with you. For me, he's not worth it because he's not. I have to work very hard for that $200. To be quite frank with you, and I think probably a lot of other people who play chess, especially at my age, will view it in a very similar manner. That's like at least a whole day's worth of work for me just to give to a guy for an hour. Now he's going to be doing more than an hour, probably a couple hours, maybe even three. If he's a good coach, he's actually going to be doing a lot of work for you. So it's more of a base pay as opposed to the actual hour, And it may be more than an hour. I'm just saying he's probably going to do a set amount of work. What he's decided is worth, that $200, and it wasn't even like $200. There's various things that you could do with him, and I think his class rates were pretty somewhat reasonable, but I got thinking about that, and I'm like, coaching, in my opinion, you're gonna get so little benefit from it. Basically, how I view a coach is it's somebody with information, and they can impart it to me on a need-to-know basis. So when I'm running into a problem, they should be able to look at my games and be like, okay, so this is what's going on. Let's work on this for a little bit. Okay, and that might be what he's doing. Okay, I'm not knocking the person or anybody else because he's not the only one. I think a lot of these guys, ever since the chess boom, really try to gouge people. They probably don't view it like that. It could be where they live. They have high rental rates, high taxes. Who knows? Who knows what the reason is? This is what's going on. And I think honestly, for the average player, it's really just working on your habits and doing everything that people tell you to do. Pick up a book, like a simple book. You don't have to read every book. Just buy one book. Go through the book. There's YouTube videos. If you want to learn just basic chess principles, go. Daniel Naroditsky has all these free videos. He does these speed runs. They're fantastic. John Bartholomew has these fundamentals videos. They're great. Chessbrah, they have their own principle chess play type thing. They're all completely free, and that's all you need to know. I've looked at quite a few of these videos. And I don't mean to leave anybody else. You've also got Levy Rosman, who's got a ton of great videos, especially from the old days. Now it's more like chess entertainment, but anyway, so there's a whole bunch of great videos out there. It's going to teach you chess principles, everything that the coach is going to show you. And so just to hit this home, I'm going to show you this game. I just randomly grabbed a game. I was working on this beginner repertoire for my brother-in-law, and I set the parameters to 1,000 Lichess to 1,600, maybe 1,800 Lichess. And I found this game. This was the very first game I clicked on, and I was using the Three Knights opening because that's what I was showing my brother-in-law. And just so really, we're just going to go through this because I barely looked at it, and it's a good game to make my point. Okay, So a coach may or may not be like, well, so here you should probably take the pawn on e5 because it's a more testing variation than knight c3. However, I don't actually think that way. I think if you're comfortable playing knight c3, you're going to want to work on the knight c3 lines and just see what you can do to make these work, okay? So knight c6. Now you got d4. So this is the recommendation that I was showing my brother-in-law. So this is how I found this game, okay? So e takes d4, knight takes d4, and now you've got knight takes d4, which is a line, especially like in this at this level. But if you look at the Masters database, you're looking at moves like bishop b4, and you're looking at moves like bishop c5, and you're looking at moves like d6 here. So, but again, when you go back to Lichess, you're looking at knight takes d4 is a major move. Bishop b4 is after that. Bishop c5, d6. So it's all the same moves, but knight takes d4 probably because beginners don't like to have a lot of tension on the board because it's one more thing that they have to remember to look at, okay? So he takes it off. Your queen comes out. So your queen takes it, right? Queen takes d4. Now, I'm going to take a look at this position and why it's better. So the computer evaluates this as plus 0.9. So it's almost one pawn better for white. Now, why is that? Because he's got two pieces developed. He's got a pawn in the center. So let's look at the squares, okay? Black can move his knight there. And really, that is it. So black is controlling one square as of right now. White, however, is controlling this square, this square, this square, this square, this square, this. Good God. Excuse me, guys. So I'm trying to get this to do this right. And this square, and also this square because of this bishop down here, and this square here because of this bishop. So do you see how much more influence white has in the center? Like I said, black is just controlling this one square. That's it. So that's why basically a computer evaluates space a lot better, a lot more valuable. So okay, so black plays d6. So this guy plays e5. Again, if I was his coach, I'd be like, well, no, you shouldn't play e5 here. That is a move, but I would play bishop f4, bishop e2. Basically, you're going to want to do your basic chess principles, which at this point is that you're going to want to develop your pieces, and you're going to want to castle. Okay, you can even play bishop c4. So, and I'm not saying e5 is a bad move, but you got to ask yourself, why are you playing that move? And again, he's got to ask himself, why is he playing that move? Well, he's playing that move so that he can take the queen. He probably likes to play endgames, maybe. But this is it's a wild idea to me. So this guy is sacrificing a pawn so he can give up his queen for really no compensation. So that's just a weird thing to do. So if you're a coach, you're going to be like, okay, well, why'd you do that? And the thing is the dude can just do it on his own. He can just look at this game and be like, oh, I played e5 to trade, but what happened? What happened was I ended up losing a pawn. All that happened with him was that he ended up losing his right to castle. But the thing is, guys, if you know your chess principles, you hardly ever castle kingside, or even queenside for that matter, once the queens are gone. You want your king in the center, most likely, or thinking about going to the center. So you're not even going to castle half the time. So it just doesn't make any sense to play a move like e5. I'm not saying it's not playable. I'm just saying it just doesn't make sense to play it. Because if you do play it, you're going to want to take it back with the queen. So this guy played e5, and after d takes e5, he took, king takes d8, and now bishop to g5. I don't know if that was the plan. To castle queenside maybe. But yeah, it's just not, he's just not doing a lot. So he plays bishop to d6. I probably wouldn't have done that. Probably would play bishop to e7 there. Or, you got h6. And, honestly, it doesn't even matter what you play in this position as black. You can play almost anything, and anything's fine. Yeah, bishop e6 is good. Bishop d6, h6. Yeah, the pin just doesn't really do anything. So anyway, so bishop d6. Now you play knight to d5. So now the pin's doing a little something. Now you just play whoops. Now a move like this, you can just tell him, oh, you're going to play h6 here. He's going to play bishop takes f6. He's going to take. Because, honestly, white shouldn't have played like this. Or black could have played bishop e7, which I think would have been better. Anyway, so bishop takes f6. And then you're going to look at moves like g takes f6. Knight takes f6. And then you've got a move like c6. So then the knight's going to have to go all the way back to e4 eventually. So let's look at bishop d3. And you've got king to e7, knight to e4. And this is the, if black doesn't play well, this is like the best white's going to get. And this is black playing kind of, not that great. Okay, so knight d5 here, bishop e7, knight takes e7, which this is kind of principled chess. King takes e7, so now you've got a pin. Okay, it's not too bad. Now he's castle queenside. Again, not terrible. You don't need a castle queenside as a thing. You can just move your king and get both your rooks connected. Plays a move like f3, king f2, rook to d8. So, again, black here is playing a move that if you take, you just kind of go backwards. And you could, but I don't know. I think having the two bishops is pretty good here. In this position, it wouldn't be terrible. But yeah, so rook d8. So he's going to play bishop d3 now. Doesn't want to trade rooks, I guess. I think bishop c4 would be a better square for it. But I guess he's looking at this possibly. But you won't be able to do that because he's just going to push that pawn and trap your bishop. So anyway, so then bishop to e6 is played. So none of these moves are terrible, okay? Like nothing is horrible yet. King to b1. And I don't know if I would play king to b1. Probably, yeah, rook d to e1 is good here because or even rook h to e1, either one would be fine. Because you'd be putting pressure, like I said, something like that, and you're just putting pressure on this pawn right there. Anyway, so king to b1. So now he's getting further away from the center, which is not where your king wants to be in the endgame, okay? So the way he's playing this is kind of shows a lack of chess fundamentals. So a coach can definitely tell you that, but also a book can tell you that. Because just buy a book on chess fundamentals, man. Watch any of those courses. They're going to tell you these things. And so, yeah, you can pay a coach $200 an hour if you want, I suppose. But you got free YouTube videos, got all that stuff. So now he plays h6 to kick the bishop, like basically the old asking the question of the bishop. Bishop takes f6. Yeah, bishop takes f6. King takes f6. You have got yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I wouldn't trade the bishop there. So again, that's something that a coach is going to tell you, I suppose. But a book will tell you that too. So if you play bishop c1 and you can fianchetto, and you're going to keep the two bishops. Now, the engine is saying black is doing better, but I'm going to be honest with you. You got the two bishops. You get the structure to be conducive to the two bishops. You're gonna have a very playable game. Okay. So anyway, bishop takes f6, giving up the bishop pair. King takes f6. So already, the engine is now evaluating black's chances is really good here. Mostly because I think his king's more in the center. h3. Rook to d6. So this guy's playing really good here. He is probably going to double on the d file. And so now white's like, okay, I'll do that too. Rook a d8, rook h d1. The problem is now you got to spend time moving your king over. And is that good or bad? So yeah, so here plays c6. He plays king to c1. So I don't know if he can take here. Let's take a look. Can he take here? Then he does b3. Then you just take b3, right? Oh, no, you can't. No, you can't, because it's 2 rooks. Yeah, right. Okay, yep. Sorry, my bad, guys. Had a momentary brain fart there. So rook d5. This guy's playing better than me. Rook d5, b3, rook to a5, hitting the pawn. And these, black's playing really good moves here. Okay, black is all of a sudden playing like an engine. All right, so king to b2. Again, getting further away from the center. Bishop to f5 is a very weird move. Black is doing well here. There's almost no reason to try to force trades. But anyway, so bishop to f5. I mean, I understand what the tactic is. Bishop takes f5, rook takes d2, and then rook takes d2. Then you just take. But yeah, anyways, so bishop to c4, and then rook takes d2. So black likes to trade pieces. Rook takes d2. Rook to c5 now, probably threatening b4 or b5. And so g5 hitting the bishop, which I think f3 would be better. But anyways, okay, g4, bishop to e4. Okay, now what's going on here? Yeah, now I think f3 might be a good move. Yeah, f3 with the idea of pinning, possibly. Yeah, anyways, okay. So rook, he plays rook to d7. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's got a bad position. Why not play rook to d7? Now, play b5. Okay, makes a lot of sense. So bishop to d3 here is the right move. He plays bishop takes f7. He's going to play rook takes c2. Okay, he's not doing well here. White is losing this game. 100% should be lost. He plays king to a3. Jeez, there's got to be probably even close to a checkmate happening here, right? Yeah, a5. Yeah, it's got to be close to a checkmate. I don't know what, but it's got to be close to a checkmate here. All right. So here, black plays b4 check. I think king can just take b4 there. So king's going to take b4. Rook is going to take a2. And so he's lost his advantage. So black has lost his advantage. So this is my point. So the guy's got a negative 5-2 advantage. What's he got to do? He's going to do moves like c5 or a5. And what that does is you're starting to box in the king, okay? And yeah, it's just going to be very hard for him to find a move here. Like, what do you do? Like, if you start looking at this position, you're like, okay, my king is kind of trapped. Maybe you play b4, but if you play b4 is almost be checkmate, right? So if you play b4 to kind of unearth your king, you've got check here. And then what do you got? You got this maybe. Then you got this. And then you're going to push the pawns down. And you got check. Yeah, I don't know. You didn't have to do that way. But anyway, so then king to a3. b4 check. So that's a mistake. King takes b4. And then you've got rook takes a2, which gives away almost the entire advantage. And bishop to c4. And a5 check. King to c5. Did they give him back here? So, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that move. Okay, so king to c5. And then you've got rook there, and that's a mistake. So let's take a look at this. So black has been killing him. He went from -5, just completely smoking him. So the point is, what's a coach going to tell you here? So right here, maybe 2 minutes isn't that long on time, but maybe it is for you. So you took that pawn, and you fell for a tactic. That's all that happened. So you didn't there wasn't even pressure per se. There was you just fell for a tactic. You just did not think ahead. So will a coach be able to diagnose that? For sure. For sure. A coach is going to be like, okay, yeah, so you have to watch out for these type of tactics, take your time, blah, blah, blah. But could you imagine paying $200 for what I just did there? Excuse me. Would you get a little more than that? Of course. That's crazy. It's just absolutely nuts. So this guy, it's pretty obvious to me. What he has to do is actually look at the opening and see what the most common moves are played. He doesn't even have to memorize a lot. He just has to be like, okay, e5 is a weird move. Why did I play e5? That was it. He just has to go back to that one point and be like, okay, e5 is a weird move. Okay, fine. And then he's got to work on some tactics, like legit, and you know some endgame ideas and some principles. So he needs fundamental chess, and he needs a little opening knowledge, and that's about it. And I just cannot imagine paying $200 an hour for that, or even $100 an hour for that, or 50. I think is really pushing it. So a lot of these guys are the guys that I believe are doing these lessons. So who is a $200 lesson for? Okay, so if you are an international master, you're like 12 years old, yeah, by all means, take a $200 lesson with Gary Kasparov or something, or whatever he charges, okay? I think that makes a lot more sense to me, whereas this type of stuff is kind of absolutely crazy. Should you get a coach? Sure, but I wouldn't spend more than $30. Like legit. $30 to $40 at the most, because they're going to be telling you the same things like that over and over and over for a long time. And I did that with like not really look. I just looked at the game quickly one time, and I was like, oh, okay, it's a good game to look at because it has those back and forth swings, you know, kind of up and downs. So, anyways, to recap the video, I just don't believe chess coaching for this level is super important. What I actually recommend for people is to join a local chess club. And if that's impossible, you've got stuff like online. You've got, I believe, Chess Mood has a kind of a chess club. You've also got the Chess Dojo. And you've got leagues like the Lead Chess 45-45 and the Lone Wolf 30-30 league and that type of stuff. So you can get some games in. Even going to Twitch or going somewhere and like asking for some help from somebody. I think you'll find that the world is full of supportive people that's not going to charge you $200 an hour. Now, if you are at that next level and you want to like just hammer it and you want that edge and you think a $200 coach can help you there, okay, by all means do that. But again, I hate seeing people like me get kind of like worked into these type of things, like because you're only going to improve so much, and that's something that nobody's telling you. A chess coach is only going to help you improve so much because at the end of the day, it's you staying steady on a practice routine. Like when my rating goes up, it's because I'm studying on a regular basis, even if I'm only studying like a half an hour a day. It's not because my coach is really helping me that much per se. It's really more just like the effort that I'm putting into it. So. Not to knock anybody. These are not shots fired. I want practical advice out there for people, that you can look at these games on your own and kind of see what you're doing. And you do that by buying a basic book like Logical Chess and going through that book and just looking to see what Irving Trenev says, or watching a John Bartholomew video and he's going to go through the chess fundamentals and he's going to explain things to you in a very comprehensive way. Daniel Naroditsky, Lever Rosman, Gotham Chess. I don't know what he likes to go by, Mr. Gotham. But like, it's just, you know, you got free resources out there up until you hit about Class B, because I think Class B, you're starting to get pretty serious. Once you're a Class B player, you've got to really learn your openings. You have to know lines, especially once you're at Class A. Like, I will say I'm pretty guilty of not being the most theory-heavy player out there. And I like to play openings that give me a lot of leeway. Just because of that, really. So I like to play a lot of strategic openings. I try to stay away from super theory-based openings because I don't want to put the time and effort into it. And I've paid for a coach for openings. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't play those openings anymore. So I paid a coach, it was $40 an hour. And he showed me how to play the King's Indian. And he gave me a very good grounding, a very good repertoire. It's a classical like E5 Mar del Plata repertoire. And it was good. However, at the end of the day, it wasn't worth it to me to really learn the openings to that high of a level. I never see the lines. I just never see them. People play other weird stuff, and I'm just playing chess typically. So I went and got a coach for openings. Didn't really need it. Didn't really help me in the long run. I'm sure it helped me with my chess understanding a little bit. It gave me an appreciation for the King's Indian for sure. But at the end of the day, I don't think it developed me or helped my rating at all. The things that help my rating is sitting down and doing my tactics every day and looking at puzzles every day. Not even just tactical puzzles. Look at some positionally based puzzles, some more fundamental principle type of game puzzles. You know, like it doesn't always have to be like a tactical. You know, because it's probably bad for you to look at tactics all the time. Anyways, not to go off on a tangent here, guys, but again, if you are a beginner chess player, stay away from putting a lot of money into chess. It's a hobby after all, and you just don't need to. There's a lot of good YouTube videos. I have a couple videos on just finding good YouTube videos. National Master Robert Ramirez has a From Beginner to Master series. It's like 300-400 videos. It's fantastic. I mean, I haven't watched all of them, but I know the quality of videos that guy was putting out. They are amazing, and you know, that's one of the reasons why I'm staying away from that, because it's already out there. It's done really well. So I'm devoting a channel more to advice and helping people find these resources. Okay, guys, so this is Derek Blue Collar Chess. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you found some of the some of my rambling somewhat insightful. And check back in, leave a like, subscribe, all that jazz. Talk to you guys later.